More than 80% of the ocean is still unexplored by humans. It's the biggest unexplored area on our planet, full of mysteries and unknown creatures. Is a sea the same as an ocean? Not really. If you dipped a straw in the Mediterranean and another in the Pacific, you wouldn't taste the same water. There's even a sea with no coast at all, floating in the middle of the ocean. Amazing, right? Under the surface, the differences are deep. In geography, every word counts, just like for hill and mountain. Ready to dive in? We're going to explore what truly sets apart seas and oceans, and why it changes everything for our planet. Alright, let's set sail. The ocean is the superstar. A huge stretch of salty water that separates continents, divided into 5 big oceans. The Atlantic, for example, affects the weather of entire continents. A sea is smaller, often at the edge of an ocean and surrounded by land, like the Mediterranean. Seas have their own special features, temperature, and life. Oceans are the blue highways of the world, huge and powerful. Seas are like local roads, smaller and unique. We also have border seas, which are wide open, and inland seas, which are almost closed off. One doesn't go without the other, but they are not in the same league. First difference, and it's a big one: size. This is often the first thing that comes to mind, and for good reason. The Pacific, a true blue giant, covers a third of our planet's surface all by itself. It's a colossal body of water, almost impossible to imagine. In comparison, the Mediterranean, the birthplace of civilizations, looks tiny next to it. Just a sea, important historically, for sure, but very small in area. Second big difference, the extreme depth. Oceans, with their mysterious trenches, plunge into depths of up to 11,000 meters, a world apart, still largely unexplored. Seas, on the other hand, are usually much shallower, offering environments that are easier to reach and better known. Third important difference, how enclosed they are. Oceans are vast and open, connected to each other, allowing water and species to move freely. Seas, however, are often enclosed, partly or fully surrounded by land, which greatly changes ocean currents and how heat is spread. Fourth way, they're different, varying saltiness. Oceans have a fairly stable and even saltiness, while seas can vary a lot depending on how much fresh water comes in and how much water evaporates. So we go from the very salty Red Sea, where there's a lot of evaporation, to the milder Baltic, fed by many rivers. Fifth and last difference we'll talk about, the power of the elements. The world's biggest waves, these ocean monsters that crash with incredible force, like those seen in Nazar, Portugal, can only form in the open ocean, where there's enough space and depth for a huge amount of energy to build up. All these basic differences shape marine life, affect the global climate, and carve out coastal landscapes. Seas and oceans, even though they share the same liquid nature, are home to very different ecosystems, suited to their specific conditions. So, to never get it wrong again, remember these 5 key points: size, depth, openness to the world, varying saltiness, and the power of the elements. Sometimes geography holds many surprises. We think we know the rules, the definitions, but the reality on the ground is often more complex, more nuanced. Geography blurs the lines. The borders we draw on maps aren't always so clear in the real world. Oceans mix, lands intertwine, and definitions become fuzzier. The Sargasso Sea, in the heart of the Atlantic, is a perfect example of this complexity. It has no coast, it's a sea defined by currents, not by land. It's known for its huge amount of floating sargassum seaweed, creating a unique ecosystem in the open sea. The Dead Sea? It's not even a sea, but an ultra-salty lake, with no connection to the ocean. Its extreme saltiness makes any water life impossible, which is why it's called that. The Caspian Sea, huge, stretches over a vast area straddling Europe and Asia, is also a salty lake, a leftover from an ancient ocean. Its complex geological history makes it a unique place in the world. The Aral Sea, once a giant, was a source of life for local communities, has almost disappeared because of humans, a major environmental disaster that shows the impact of our actions on the environment. The names of seas are sometimes historical or political, like the Sea of Japan, whose name is debated among different countries, or subjective, like the Gulf of Mexico, whose boundaries are defined by geographical and political agreements. Nature doesn't always fit into our boxes. It's much more complex and diverse than our attempts to classify it. These exceptions show that classification is sometimes blurry, but always fascinating, inviting us to explore and understand the complexity of the world around us. telling the difference between sea and ocean, two water bodies that might look similar at first glance. But understanding the difference between them is much more important than we might think at first. It's not a small detail, it's not just about words or geographic curiosity. It's vital for science, for navigation, because it affects how we plan routes and understand the world around us, geopolitics and ecology. The very definition of borders, how resources are managed, and conservation efforts depend on this difference. Oceans control the world's weather, affecting weather patterns and global temperatures on a large scale. Seas have a local impact. Their influence is felt more directly in the areas they border, affecting coastal communities and ecosystems right away. Ocean shipping routes are crucial for trade, making it easy to move goods over long distances. Seas are often areas of tension and biodiversity. They are often hotspots for unique and fragile ecosystems, making their protection even more important. Ecosystems are very different between these environments. The ocean depths are mysterious, home to creatures and phenomena we're only just beginning to understand. Seas, being more open to pollution, need special protection efforts. Managing fishing or protecting nature needs different plans depending on whether it's a sea or an ocean. It's not the same in a sea or an ocean. The size and impact of human activities vary greatly depending on the type of water body. In short, understanding the difference is key. The ocean is huge, deep, open, a vast connected system that rules our planet. The sea, smaller, shallower, often enclosed. Seas are more local, often closed off and closely tied to the land. And you, do you prefer the sea or the ocean? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future ocean adventures. Understanding this difference means reading the world map differently and better protecting our blue planet. It allows us to appreciate the unique features of each and to put in place effective strategies for their sustainable management and preservation. And you, do you prefer the sea or the ocean? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future ocean adventures.